What's really striking to me, kind of looking back at that sort of early period, kind of how often we came across people who just were not aware that, kind of legal directory consultants existed.
Absolutely.
And if they were aware that they existed, they certainly didn't sort of realize that they existed in a sort of in a company and sort of en masse, like our model was kind of, was kind of geared towards. And now, actually, if you look around, it is, that it's become a much more kind of mature industry, really, the legal directory consultancy industry. I mean, the vast majority of, major law firms are aware that, we exist, that people like us exist, and, many firms will have used consultants now. I think that's a pretty big and rapid change, given that we're only talking about a 10-year period here, really. But it also
Yeah.
reflects, I think, the sort of importance that firms place on these things, and the desire to find kind of effective solutions to managing the process.
Yeah, and I think everyone is more clued up on the process, right? The existence of the consultancies such as ours has helped with that process. I think law firms, in terms of their sort of in-house expertise and knowledge, we increasingly come across some very impressive business development managers and business development professionals in law firms who really do know their stuff. And I think that's great to see. I think they're able to help their firms get a return on the investment in terms of the time and energy they spend. I think some firms have become quite aggressive in the way they approach the whole directory submission process, which is certainly a way of approaching it. And I think absolutely, if we go back 10 years, that level of knowledge just didn't exist across the market. So it is a different landscape altogether. But of course, we're still seeing a constant flow of firms coming to us looking for that extra level of knowledge, looking to get that competitive edge, looking to really get some insight into the process and how it works. And particularly with, I think, Chambers and Partners point scoring system, the new referee management tool, it is a constantly evolving landscape, and therefore there is always something changing, there is always something developing, and firms are looking to make sure they are as up to date as they can possibly be, because these cycles come around very quickly. You finish off one round of submissions, take a couple of months break, and then it's straight back in, and you need to make sure your knowledge is absolutely on point.